The midnight decision. The glow of my laptop screen was the only light in my tiny apartment. It was 2:37 a.m., that dangerous hour when bad decisions feel like destiny. I'd just closed another dating app conversation, yet another you up. Text from a guy whose name I couldn't remember, when the Facebook post stopped my scrolling thumb mid-swipe. Urgent, father of two needs kidney donor. Blood typo, please share. Time is running out. Beneath the text was a photo that punched me right in the gut. A broad-shouldered man with tired eyes, flanked by two little girls in matching sunflower dresses. The older one, maybe 7, had her arm wrapped protectively around her sister. Their smiles were bright, but the shadows under their dad's eyes told a different story. I didn't even realize I was crying until a tear splashed onto my trackpad. Maybe it was the loneliness talking, or the 3 glasses of cheap Pinot Grigio, or maybe it was remembering how my own dad had needed a liver transplant that never came in time. My fingers moved before my brain could catch up. Click. Message. Hi, I'm O. How do I know if I'm a match? The white lie. Absolutely not, my best friend Lauren hissed 6 weeks later, gripping my shoulders in the hospital waiting room. You're telling me you're about to let some back alley surgeon carve you open like a Thanksgiving turkey for a guy you've never K? I adjusted my paper gown. Why were these things always either suffocating you or flashing your ass to the entire tri-state area? They're not back alley surgeons. This is Mount Sinai, and his name is James. Lauren's perfectly microbladed eyebrows disappeared into her hairline. Oh well, if you know his name. The nurse called me before I could respond. As I lay on the operating table, the anesthesiologist asked, "Any last questions?" I should have asked about recovery time, or pain management. Instead, what came out was his kids, they'll get to keep their dad, right? The mask descended before I heard the answer. The unboxing. 3 months post-op, I stood in my bathroom staring at the angry red scar snaking across my abdomen. The transplant coordinator had called it my warrior mark. Right now it looked more like a botched zipper installation. My phone buzzed with the email I'd been simultaneously dreading and anticipating. Your recipient has agreed to contact. Below is his letter. James' handwriting was surprisingly elegant, all looping cursive and careful punctuation. Not what I expected from a construction worker. Dear Angel, that's what my girls call you. I woke up from surgery crying. Not from pain, though trust me, there's plenty, but because for the first time in years, I could picture watching my daughters graduate, walking them down the aisle, maybe even grandkids someday, all because of you. When you're ready, I'd like to thank you in person. Maybe you could meet Sophie and Lila? They've drawn you approximately 427 pictures. Grateful always. James. I pressed the paper to my chest, suddenly understanding why people believed in fate. The mugshot. Ta. The coffee shop was all exposed brick and overpriced pour-overs. I arrived early, nursing a lavender latte that tasted like perfume, rehearsing what I'd say to this stranger who now carried a piece of me inside him. Then the door chimed. James Mercer was taller than in his photos, broad shoulders straining against a navy Henley, dark hair cropped close, and walking beside him. Is that a cop? I whispered too loudly. James winced. Probation officer. Mandatory farewell. He rubbed the back of his neck. There's some stuff you should probably know. Google filled in the blanks before he could. James Mercer. 8 years, Sing Sing. Armed robbery. Aggravated assault. My latte curdled in my stomach. The truth in the tool shed. I confronted him at his worksite, where he was installing drywall in some Upper East Side brownstone. You were holding a gun to someone's head. James set down his drill with deliberate calm. I never touched the gun. My buddy did. But the DA offered me a deal, take 8 years or risk 25 if it went to trial. He lifted his shirt, revealing a jagged scar. Got this my first month inside for acting tough. Learned real quick I wasn't. The foreman yelled something in Spanish. James responded fluently before turning back to me. I served my time. Got out. Went to rehab. Now I show up to my PO meetings, take my UA tests, and try to be someone my girls can. His voice cracked. You think I don't know what you're feeling? That piece of me inside you? The metaphor hung between us, too raw to examine. The river. The news alert popped up while I was binge-watching the Great British Bake Off. Ex-con saves child from drowning. There was James, dripping wet on the Hudson River pier, hugging a sobbing boy to his chest. The caption quoted him, "Just did what anyone would do." But the comment section told a different story. Hero. Once a thug, always a thug. Bet he checked the kid's wallet first. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. What was I supposed to say? Actually, that's my kidney he's using to be heroic. The aloe plant. He showed up at my door with a terracotta pot. "Hello." For you know, he gestured vaguely at my abdomen. "Also, I killed the orchid you had on your Instagram, so..." I snorted. "You cyberstalked me to murder my plants?" "Wanted to make sure you weren't an axe murderer." He paused. "Turns out I was the felon all along." The silence stretched. Somewhere downstairs, a neighbor was playing Bad Bunny too loud. "Those comments under the article," I finally said. "How do you?" "Shower before bed so I don't stain the sheets with my rage." He smirked, but his eyes were tired. "Most days I just focus on what my sponsor says. We don't get to control the narrative. Just the next right thing." I handed him a glass of water. "And today's next right thing?" "Returning your casserole dish." He pulled my grandmother's Pyrex from his backpack. "Also, Sophie wants to know if you'll come to her ballet recital." Epilogue. The unanswerable question. Now, when people ask would you do it again, I tell them. About the chronic back pain from only having one kidney. About the way James sends me photos every year on our kidneyversary, him and the girls holding increasingly elaborate signs. About the time his PO pulled me aside and said, "You know he's one of the good ones, right?" But mostly I tell them this. The night before surgery, the transplant coordinator asked if I wanted to back out. I didn't hesitate then. Some days I don't hesitate now. Other days, I Google "can kidneys feel regret?" Moral of the story. Redemption isn't about erasing the past, it's about what you build with the second chance you're given.